So I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to jump right in and get right to my message. Let me tell you a little about my story. I was born in Philadelphia on the East Coast. And growing up, I always listened to my parents. Okay, sometimes I listened to my parents. Okay, I never listened to my parents. I was a very hard-headed young man. I thought I had all the answers and all the questions. My father passed away when I was young, left my mother as a single mother to raise me and my older brother, and I gave my mother a headache. If she were here today, she would shake her head right about now and say, yeah, he was a very difficult young man for me to raise. Did all right in high school, barely got by. I was an athlete, played basketball, ran track and field, a high jumper, a long jumper, and a sprinter. And by the grace of God, I got accepted to Rutgers University, which is the State University of New Jersey, where I grew up, on a track and field scholarship. So as I got to Rutgers, I studied electrical engineering, and I was still struggling with two things. First, my mother had to work two jobs while I was in college. And so for me to leave and go to college, my brother was older than me, for me to leave home and go to college and leave my mother alone to work two jobs, to pay the bills, make ends meet, put food on the table, clothes on our back, it was difficult for me to focus on my schoolwork. Second, still having not really dealt with the loss of my father and not really processed the impact losing him had on my life, I was still dealing with some emotional issues that I hadn't quite yet come to grips with. So I was a hard-headed young guy. I did all right in school. I was a good athlete. I barely made it into college. And if you ask my mother, what do you think is the future for this young man? She'd have told you, I don't know. So let me fast forward 5 years later. It took me 5 years to get through college. It takes most people 4 years. It took me 5 years. I'll talk about that. 5 years later, I graduated from college with straight A's. I got one, actually, I should say straight A's and 1B. I got 1B. I still say it should have been an A. That's personal. That's my problem. I'll deal with that. I graduated captain of the track and field team at Rutgers. I graduated from Rutgers to be the first African American from Rutgers to receive the Rhodes Scholarship. Anybody ever heard of the Rhodes Scholarship? Rhodes Scholarship? Anybody heard of it? I got a couple hands, all right, in the back. Rhodes Scholarship is an all expenses paid scholarship to the University of Oxford in England. And past presidents have been Rhodes Scholars. Bill Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar. Past Supreme Court justices, Justice Roberts was a Rhodes Scholar. And several elected officials and leaders across the globe have been Rhodes Scholars. So I got an all expenses paid scholarship to Oxford University. And I graduated from college as the CEO of my own business. I started my first business when I was about 19 years old. Where are my seniors? Where are the seniors? Raise your hand, seniors. Shout out to the seniors. Give them a round of applause. Shout out to the seniors. I see you. I see you. I see you, bro. That's what's up. So seniors, so how old are you, young man? 18. I started my first company at 19. Now, if you hear that story, graduated with all A's and 1B, graduated captain of the track team, graduated as a Rhodes Scholar, graduated as the CEO of his own business. And if you ask my mother 5 years earlier, where would this guy be? And she says, I don't know. If I were in your seats right now, I would be asking the question, what happened? I would want to know what happened. What turned the corner? What changed from the high school graduate to the college graduate who was mediocre at best to being at the top of his class? That would be the question I would be wondering if I were in your shoes. What happened? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. 5 things happened. I'm going to break down all 5, and we're going to open up the floor for questions. 5 things happened. 5 things that I came to know. 5 things I believe every young man needs to know. 5 things that I didn't know when I was in high school that I came to know that have been key to my success, if you call it that. The first thing I came to know, which I didn't know, I came to know my history. I didn't know my history. And I look across this room at the faces of all of you young men in this room, and I know that each of you comes from a legacy of excellence, no matter what your background, no matter what your circumstance, no matter what your experience. There are people who look like you, who came from your neighborhood, who've walked through these halls, who will walk through these halls, who have been excellent at what they do, whether it's science, technology, engineering, math, the arts, culture, whatever it is. You are in a tradition of excellence, and quite frankly, this school is establishing that same tradition of excellence that you are now a part of at the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy. So I came to know that somebody who looks like me invented the fountain pen and the elevator and the air conditioner. Thank God for the air conditioner in the summer, right? And the heating furnace and the super soaker. And that somebody who looks like me invented the first computer. Somebody who looks like me did all these things. The first open heart surgery, the first to die in the Boston Massacre. I didn't know that. And I had a young childhood friend. His name was Wayne Abbott. I'm talking about Wayne a couple times for the brief amount of time I have. Wayne and I grew up together, same neighborhood, same block, same school. He was 2 years older than me. Wayne, for whatever reason, started studying history and pulled me aside and said, why don't you read this? Here's an article, here's a website, here's a book, here's another book, here's another book, here's another book, and started feeding me history because just so happens Wayne and I ended up going to the same college. So as Wayne got hooked on history in college, he got me hooked on history. And so seeing a reflection of myself as being excellent in every discipline, every field, every industry, changed my entire perspective. And so I say to all of you that if you're here at this Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, that when it comes to success, you are about more and not less. You stay dressed to impress. You've got finesse to pass any test. And when people get fresh and try to cause you stress, you do three things. First, look at that situation and assess. Second, develop a plan for what it is you must address. And then third, bring all of your Barack Obama zest to spark people's interest, to know that from somebody from this school to expect nothing less than the best. In fact, I know that you know that I know that nobody here knows the first thing about a hot mess. In fact, you're so bad, I said it from this point forward, I'm changing all of your names to a symbol like the late great artist Prince that stands for success. That was bad, you must confess. Come on, brothers, that was bad. Come on, come on, come on, show me your love, come on. My man playing drums. So that's the first thing I came to know is my history. The second thing I came to know is I came to know myself. Remember what I mean by I came to know myself? That might not even make any sense to you. I came to know two things about myself. First, what am I passionate about? And second, where has God given me gifts? What is passion? Passion are the things that you do naturally. Things you're naturally drawn to do. What was I naturally drawn to do? I was naturally drawn to sell. I sold candy when I was a kid. I sold lemonade when I was a kid. I tried to sell my toys to other kids in my neighborhood when I was a kid. And every kid in my neighborhood was broke like me. So I sold no toys. In fact, my mom found out that I was trying to sell the toys. She said, wait, you can't sell the toys, boy. I bought the toys. If you're going to sell the toys, at least give me a cut. I said, Mom, you can't get a cut. She said, you know what? Shut down your whole toy store. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. So first thing for me, my passion is selling. You might have a passion for singing, for performing, for athletics, for law, for medicine, for teaching. I need you to think about what are the things that you would naturally do if you didn't get paid. I asked this audience like this, what would you do if you didn't get paid? They're like, nothing, dude. Why would I do it? They're missing my point. There is something that gets you up in the morning, something gets you excited, something you have a passion for that burns inside of you. I want you to tap into that passion and ask yourself, what's your passion? My passion was selling. What's my gift? And let me be clear. Everyone here has not just a gift, but has gifts. My gift, meaning God just blessed me with a natural ability. Your gifts are the things you do naturally. People watch you do it and say, how do you do that? You do that so well. You make that look easy. My gift was technology. That was my gift, math, science, and technology. I took apart computers, put them back together as an elementary school kid. When I was in junior high school, my brother and I asked our mother for a video game. And instead of getting us a video game, she said to us, if you want to play a video game, you have to make the video game. Here's a computer. We were like, really? Is it that serious? We got to make the game? She's like, yeah, you got to make the game. So at about 7th grade, I was designing video games. I was writing code. I was building software in junior high school. And so I took that passion for selling, entrepreneurship. I took that gift for technology, computers, and today I run a technology business. That's what I do. And in fact, I was inspired to become an entrepreneur because I saw Wayne start his first business at 18. And I said that if he can do it, why can't I do it? And so I stand before you today. I've been in business now for 20 years. Started at 19, and I've launched 5 companies. Today I run a multi-million-dollar technology firm that works across the country. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that story in a moment. So that's the second thing I came to know. Second thing I came to know is myself. What's I came to know? My passion and my gifts. So going back to knowing my history, repeat after me. If you know your past, then you know your future. That's history. Second, knowing myself. Repeat after me. When you love what you do, you will never work another day in your life. The third thing I came to know. I came to know other like-minded brothers. Other brothers who were trying to be about something, trying to do something, trying to go somewhere, trying to make it in life. I came to know other brothers who, instead of being in the negative peer pressure I saw in high school, gave me positive peer pressure. So my first semester in college, I met 3 brothers, Jeff Robinson, Dallas Grundy, and Lawrence Hibbard. We were complete strangers. We met in the cafeteria at Rutgers, hung out, studied together, worked together, and one day we're sitting in the cafeteria, and we said to each other, you know what, maybe one day we could start a business. Maybe we see Wayne running a business, maybe we could do the same thing. And so we resolved from that moment that the 4 of us would not just come together, but stay together. And over the 20 years that I've been in business with those same 3 black men for those past 20 years. So repeat after me. Show me your friends. Show me your future. Say it again. Show me your friends. Show me your future. And so it was because we came together as brothers. And my message to you is that the power of this Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy, to me, is twofold. First is the way you're building men in this school, the way each of you individually can take this experience to your families, to your communities, to your loved ones, and benefit yourself and them. But what's also powerful to me is if you all stay connected to each other. That if you maintain these relationships, as you all move forward from high school to college, college to career, career to whatever lies ahead, if you can stay connected like we stay connected, there's nothing you can't do together. Because you can do more together than you can do apart. And the power is not just the individuals in this room, but the entire room. That's the power, to me, of this academy. So that's the third thing I came to know, is I came to know other like-minded brothers. The fourth thing I came to know is I came to know my future. Meaning, what was it I wanted to do in life? If you asked me when I got to college, where do you want to be? Where do you want to see yourself when you graduate? My answer would have been, I don't know. But when I finally decided that I wanted to be a technology entrepreneur, now it all made sense. Now the picture became clear of how I've got to work hard in school. I've got to put in the hard work. I got to put in the sweat equity. I got to do what I got to do to get to that goal, because that's what now is driving me. The last thing I came to know, in fact, on that point, let me say this. The question I asked you to ask of me was what happened, and you got a little bit of a flavor for that right now, but let me tell you what also happened. My first semester, I came to ask myself some really tough questions about where do I see myself in life. And as I saw my mother struggling to work 2 jobs, to go in the morning, to come home, to go right back out at night, and then come home late at night every single day, and thinking about the legacy that my father and the expectations he had of me when he was alive, I said to myself, you know what, if my mother can sacrifice the way she's sacrificing, if she can put all on the line just to give me opportunity, if she can put all of what she's got on the line just so I might have a chance, then the least I can do is honor that and work hard myself. That if God's blessed me with these skills in math and science, if he's given me this passion for entrepreneurship and for selling, the last thing I want to do, given all of what others have done to try to give me an opportunity, is to not take advantage of the opportunity. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to do what I have to do to get where I want to get. And that's what I did. And so the last thing I came to know, number 5, was hard work. I didn't know about hard work. I'm not gonna lie. I came to know hard work. I came to know what it's like to study all night long. I came to know what it's like to be up early and home late. I came to know what it's like to put in the sweat, the labor, the effort. And let me say this too. And I was talking to your principal. I'm gonna say something that you've probably heard before. It is so easy to see the product of success that you don't see the process of success. You see the athlete with the slam dunk. You see the lawyer in the courtroom with the eloquent argument. You see the doctor performing surgery. What you don't see is the hours on the court that athlete practiced, or the hours in law school that lawyer was working hard to perfect their law skills. You don't see the physician practicing medicine over and over and over and over and over again just to get it right. You don't see any of that. I'm standing here. You don't see my story. You don't see what it took to get here. I don't see your story, but you know what? It's the process that leads to the product. It's the hard work, it's the effort, it's the labor, it's the toil, it's doing what you have to do that gets you to where you want to get to. I didn't know about hard work, but I came to understand that if there's anything I want in life, it's not going to come easy. And let me say this, hard work is not a skill. Hard work is a choice. Repeat after me, hard work is not a skill. It is a choice. And you make the choice. It's your choice to work hard. It's your choice to study. Or it's your choice not to. I'm going to assume that because you're here, that because you're a part of this academy, and because you're in this room, that you've made that choice. That you are in a much better place than I was when I was your age, that you've already made the choice that you want to work hard because you know that that's the key to success. It's not who is the most talented, who is the smartest, who is the fastest, who is the most gifted. It is who is willing to work the hardest. That's who succeeds in life. Those who are willing to work the hardest. And if there's any key to my success, it's been that. So I'd say to you, I came to know my history. I came to know myself, my gifts and my passion. I came to know my future. I came to know hard work, and I came to know other like-minded brothers. That's my story. And so now, to kind of get to the end of the story, I did my undergraduate degree at Rutgers in electrical engineering. I graduated Rutgers. As you know, I won the Rhodes Scholarship. I went to the University of Oxford in England as a Rhodes Scholar. I studied there for 2 years. I got a master's in computer science. That's my second degree. I came back to the US. I worked for a company called AT&T. You probably heard of them. Decided I wanted to go back to school. I went back to grad school again. I went to MIT in Boston, Massachusetts. I got a master's in electrical engineering from MIT. I have a master's in business from MIT. And I have a PhD, a player hater's degree from MIT. I've got 5 degrees. That's more degrees than a thermometer. Graduated MIT, joined my 5th company full-time, along with Lawrence, Dallas, and Jeffrey. After that first year of working for myself full-time after graduating from MIT, I got married. My wife was watching a television show called The Apprentice. I'd never watched the show. We're home. She's upstairs. I'm downstairs working. She's watching TV. She screams to me downstairs. I'm going to keep it real with you. She said, "Boo-boo." I said, "Yes, sweetie." She said, "Have you ever thought about going on The Apprentice?" I said, "I've never even watched The Apprentice." She said, "I think you should go on the show." I said, "Why?" She said, "I think you could win." I said, "You're crazy." "You crazy, girl. Go ahead with that. I'm busy. I'm running my business. I just finished school. I ain't got time for reality TV." She says, okay, it's just an idea. So I went to work the next day. I came home, and on my desk was the application to be on The Apprentice. My wife found it. She printed it out. She put it on my desk, and she had a little Post-it note that said, fill this out. I said, oh, she thinks he's cute. I said, I got something cute for her, too. So I took her Post-it note, I threw it away, and I wrote my own Post-it note that said, I told you I'm too busy. And I put it on her desk. I said, I'm cute now. So then I came home the next day. My Post-it note was gone. There's a new Post-it note that says, I told you to fill this out. Okay, so I got that message. So what did I do? I filled it out. And I told her, I said, you know what, this is a complete waste of time. They're not going to call on me. You know why? Because I'm just too normal. I'm not controversial. I don't do crazy things. I'm just a guy who went to school, worked hard, got good grades, and started the company. From my vantage point, reality TV is not looking for people like me. So I got a call about a month later from producers of The Apprentice, said, yo, we got your application and we loved your application. I said, you've got to be kidding me. So they said, we want to interview you. They flew me to Los Angeles. I spent a week in a hotel. And all through that week, I went through all kinds of interviews and tests and examinations and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Make a long story short, there were 1 million people who applied to be on the show that year. There were 18 people that were chosen to compete, and there was one winner, the brother right here. Yo! And now when my wife tells me to do something, I can't say no. I'm like, okay, I got you. You're right. You were right. You were right. It's all love. It's all good. So yes, I took a year to leave my company. I worked for Donald Trump. Yes, I did. This was 10 years ago that I won the show. And let me say this. While I may have worked for Donald Trump, I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump. See, y'all were worried for a moment, weren't you? and to be even clearer, listen. I'm going to open up the floor for questions. I want to have questions. To be very clear, during the year that I worked for him, there were things that I saw that helped me to be a better business person, but there were things I saw that I would never do, that I did not agree with, that were not consistent with my values. So at the end of that year, I was ready to go. And I was asked to stay longer. I said, you know what, this is not an organization that's a good fit for me. And for me, and I can only speak personally, Donald, as I said to the organization, is not the kind of leader that I would choose to follow. So while I may have been his apprentice for a year, I am not his apprentice for life. I'm my own man. I'm my own person. I have my own values. I have my own agenda. And so now I run my own company. And God be willing, one day my company will be bigger than his, and I'll buy it and I'll fire him. So on that note, I want to again thank your principal, Brother Bland. I want to thank Clifton Johnson. I want to thank you all for your attentiveness. You've been great. I'm going to open up the floor for questions, and then we'll get you in and we'll get you out. Questions? And I know there are many. Yes? What was my biggest challenge in life? My biggest challenge in life was, without a doubt, the passing of my father. Without a doubt. I mentioned it in my remarks that at the age that my father passed, I don't think I fully appreciated the impact that it had on me, and also the impact it had on my mother. Because my mother had not worked when my father passed away, which meant she had to go from not working to getting into the job market to making enough money to keep things moving. And that was not easy for her. So it was difficult both from losing him and then seeing her struggle. Does that make sense? So it was that combination of factors that led to it being difficult for me. And I was young, I wanted to help my mother, but there wasn't much I could do. But I learned that the best thing I could do, as I said before, was to honor her sacrifice and to honor his legacy. And so I believe that in many ways my father is looking down, and I love the fact that my mother is still around to be able to see the fruits of her labor. So that was probably the most difficult part for me. Yes? I am an entrepreneur, a 5-time entrepreneur. Yes.
Have you ever had any instances where it could have been like either your business fails or your business rises? Like any business deal where your business fails or rises? And if it has been that way in your business before, how did you react to that?
Yeah, so two good questions. So let me make something really clear. I'm a 5-time entrepreneur, but the first 4 companies failed. You follow me? So you might have interpreted me saying 5 times as if I've had 5 successful companies. I've had 1 currently successful company and 4 failed companies that they failed. Now, why do I say that and why I love the question? Let me say this, not just in business, but in life, if you want to be successful, you cannot avoid failure. You can't avoid it. And I'll say 3 things about failure really quick. The first thing about failure is that failure says nothing about you. Failing doesn't mean you're a bad person. Failing means you're human. Everyone fails. Everyone fails. So don't think that if you fail, it says something negative. It does not. It says nothing, neither negative or positive. What it says is you have an opportunity to learn. Second thing about failure is that you learn more from failure than you do from success. If you've lived long enough, and the teachers will attest to this, if you've lived long enough, you learn that failure teaches you more lessons than success. Because by failing, you learn lessons that you couldn't otherwise learn that lead you next to greater success. The third principle of failure is that success is nothing than going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Success is nothing more than going from failure to failure to failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. So I've got 4 failure, 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 failure current company, right? Now, some people get that failure, throw in the towel. Second failure, they give up. Third failure, they've had enough. Fourth failure, white towel, white flag, I'm giving in. If you draw a line between failure and success and you want to know what lies along that line, what lies along that line is perseverance. Perseverance. If you're willing to work over and 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 over again, you'll succeed. I guarantee it. The question is, who's willing to do it? Who's willing to put in that much effort and time? So, have I failed? I absolutely have failed. Many times I've failed. But I took the time to ask the question, what can I learn from the failure to make the next business that much more likely to succeed, but not guaranteed to succeed. You follow me? All right. Young man, we'll go over here next, real quick.
My name is Mr. Johnson. My question, I have 2 questions put in one. Have you made $1 million yet?
I have.
And when you made that $1 million, what was the first thing you did?
What's the first thing I did with it? That's a really easy answer. So he asked me, have I made $1 million? The answer is yes. What did I do with it? I didn't spend it. That's what I did with it. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Look at his face. He looks like, I need to get a picture of you. Where's my phone? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Make that face for me. Make that face again. Got it. All right. All right, so listen up. I don't have much time. I'm gonna get you. So really quick, why do I say I didn't spend it? Because, let me break this down real simple. There's a difference between income and wealth. Income is what you make, wealth is what you keep. So if you want to be wealthy, you don't earn money and then spend it. You earn money and then you keep it to invest it so that it can grow, so that you have more tomorrow. So I say I didn't spend it because I invested it. Now, where did I invest it? I invested it in my company, in myself. My 4 partners and I, we would earn money from the company and put all that money back into the company so the company could grow, to make more money, to put it in, so we could grow, to put it in, so we could grow, so we can create wealth. We were generating income, but if we take the money out, then there's no wealth. The problem in our community is not that we don't have income, we don't have a lot of wealth. And running a business, being an entrepreneur, is about creating wealth, not about creating income. I could say a lot more about that. We've got to bring me back to answer that question some more. I ain't got time. Over here. Yes, right there.
My name is Brother Jalen Connors, and I know with success there's going to come some haters. I want to know, what was your motivation to keep striving and, block the haters?
So the question is, what do you do with the haters? So I got a player-hater degree, so I know what to do with haters, right? You heard it in my remarks. You do two things with haters. First is you don't surround yourself with haters. You surround yourself with people who are on your team, on your side, who are examples, role models, positive peer pressure. Again, peer pressure can be negative and positive. The only question is who surrounds you and what's the pressure? Is it positive or negative? So the first thing is surround yourself with positive people. Second is you've got to know who you are and what you're about. And I'm not saying that's easy. It's something that we all learn and grow and evolve as we get older. But if you know who you are, and I'm going to speak real personal, I know I'm a child of God. I know I'm a child of God. And so a hater can't tell me what I am because I know who I am. A hater can't tell me what to do because I know what I want to do. They say if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. And if you don't define yourself, somebody will define yourself for you. So ask yourself the question, who are you? Who are you? Because if you know the answer to that question, then the haters can't tell you who you are or direct you to do what you don't want to do because you know and are comfortable in the man that you are and the man you seek to become. Another one. Go ahead. Let me hit you. Go ahead.
My name is Philip McKay Anderson in the 8th grade. And, success is not given, but success is earned. How is hard work paid off in the success that you've earned?
Yes. So let me say this. Repeat after me. Success is where opportunity meets preparation. Success is where opportunity meets preparation. And the way that you're prepared is by working hard. You can't control when opportunity comes. The world brings you an opportunity. You can't control when opportunity comes. What you can control is being prepared for the opportunity. That's what you can control. And so for me, it was about getting good grades, working hard in school. For me as an athlete, learning the discipline of what I could take from being in competitive sports, learning about entrepreneurship, studying other entrepreneurs, studying business, and studying technology, math, science, engineering, technology, to be the best I could be so that when the opportunity came to start a company, to win a Rhodes Scholarship, to be the apprentice, I'm ready for the opportunity. So I think my time is up. I would love to take more questions. Let me say in closing, to you young men, I could not be prouder of you. I couldn't be prouder of what you're doing here at the school. I couldn't be prouder of the questions you've asked. I couldn't be prouder as if you were my own sons. And I've got two. So I say to you, you are the truth. You are the real deal. You are the proof in the pudding and the icing on the cake. You are too legit to quit, too strong to be wrong, too blessed to be stressed, and too anointed to be disappointed. You are the bomb. So go out and show the world what the Barack Obama Male Academy is doing with young men. God bless you. And thank you.